Hola, buenos dias, cheers. This is Kai Pacha with the weekly Pele Report. This weekly Pele Report is coming to you on October 22nd of the year 2014. I am fortunate enough to be here at Zoo Studios, an eclectic community of creative, artistic geniuses that have a wide variety, manifestation of creative expression through all the arts. I can't wait to show you Pleeble Island at the end of this report. So I'm just going to give you a little astrology for these times, and I'm in the right place at the right time. This is an extremely complex time period of human evolution. This is the eclipse. Yes, the eclipse that so many have been talking about for so long is right around the corner. The moon is coming around. It's at the same declination as Mercury, Venus, the sun. It's not only going to eclipse the sun, it's going to eclipse Venus. Actually today, Wednesday, right now, as I'm doing this report, the moon is eclipsing, it's called, occult Mercury. Then it comes around. The sun and Venus both move into Scorpio tomorrow, and we have the eclipse conjunct Venus, all of them at 0 degrees of Scorpio, right on the cusp, the threshold of Scorpio, the underworld. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about what that means. But it keeps going on. Then on Saturday, Mercury turns direct. I know many of you have been waiting for that. We're going to look a little bit more at just what that indicates for us. And on Sunday, Mars goes into the sign of Capricorn. So those are the astrological aspects that I want to talk about. There is just, so much here. They made a little seat for me. I'm going to have a little seat, doing a little bit more of a production here for this Pele Report. And I hope you enjoy. So let me take that seat and get back to you. Okay, well, we're dealing with a real production here. I'm in the studio. I've never been in a studio before. So, I'm glad to start with zoo. Wow. And, of course, I'm confronting all of my fears. I'm confronting, and this is what is so powerful about this eclipse. It is on the very cusp of Libra and Scorpio. Going from that air sign of Libra, talking about relationship, learning about relationship, communicating, doing this exchange, and kind of leaping off that cliff of air, talking, head stuff, into the deep, dark waters of Scorpio. Fixed water, ruled by Pluto, god of the underworld. Yeah, is associated with shamanism, with transformation through alchemy, alchemical processes, through the merging, rules over osmosis, becoming what I've, related to, absorbing, your power, your truth, your understanding, your wisdom, your money. It's just like this, it's merging. And we know that merging has its dangers. You need to be cautious, you need to be careful, you need to, whatever. But it is also then consummation. It is the orgasm. It is the what can come out of, yes, this cooperative effort, financially, physically, sexually, intellectually. There is tremendous amounts. So Scorpio is also about power, managing power, dealing with power. And so here we are, having the solar eclipse, which sets the tone, really, for the next 6 months. We'll be really looking, and it's like you can do a chart, and astrologers use this eclipse chart to really forecast till the next eclipse season coming in March and April, yeah, of next year. And so this time period, this new moon, it's a new moon, the moon joining and actually occulting, hiding both the sun and Venus. You know, it is an optical phenomena that from Earth, the sun and the moon are virtually the same size. The solar and the lunar powers, you know, are equal when it comes to their, you know, appearance from where we are as human beings. But the main point I want to get to, I'm just like, you know, going around all this because I'm having a good time. It's the guardian at the threshold. Hello. We're all facing the guardian. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Are you big enough? Are you strong enough to cross this bridge, to cross the river Styx, to die and surrender and let go in order to be, yeah, reborn, resurrected, the phoenix rising from the ashes? Yeah, the Bible says the seed must die that it is born again. So we're at this threshold. In the northern hemisphere, this is fall. The fruits drop from the trees, and the trees go dormant. They don't die completely, but the seed does die, right? Yeah? To come back next spring when the next eclipse is. So, whether it's the bank loaning us money, whether it is the partner wanting to move in, whether it is that I want to, buy a house or start a business, and do business partnership or, open a storefront or a website or whatever. There is just this is a time where we need to work with each other, be with each other, and the more that we can trust, the more that we can receive, the more that we can listen and accept and talk about our fears, our inhibitions, our past memories that create paranoia or whatever. We want to understand that Saturn is moving through Scorpio. It's not out of there yet. It leaves in December like I've been talking about. So we still have Saturn in Scorpio. Oh, I didn't even talk about that. This whole thing is, the Sun Venus is trining Neptune. I'll get to that later. We just want to look at this archetype of Scorpio as in the astrology books and in the old times. It's not only death, taxes, inheritance, insurance. The eclipses have been associated with natural disasters, plagues, diseases, problems, issues that come up. And right here now at 0 degrees of Scorpio, we just want to say that this is a time where we are being tested and challenged to see what we're made of. And what we're made of also, I don't know, it's allows us or does not allow us to participate in the process, to engage. It's called the battleground with forces beyond our control. The bank, the other person, the real estate market, nature. We can't control these things. So we have choices to make. Yeah? We can go back to Taurus, which is the opposite of Scorpio. Shut the castle gate. Hold it to our own. Sustain. Retreat. Strengthen. Refortify. Separate. Isolate. I'm not ready for this battle. I'm not ready for this confrontation. I'm not ready to test myself. It's a way, actually, I would imagine, of failing the test. The guardian at the threshold is so terrifying. It's this huge dragon, and I'm not ready to slay a dragon. I don't want to slay a dragon. I don't feel strong enough to slay that dragon of relationship, of intimacy, of vulnerability, of humility, of, forget it. I'm going back to Uranus and Aries, the polarity in Taurus, my own home, my own known, what I know and I'm familiar with and can control gives me this sense of security and power and stability. But that can lead to stagnation. Last week I talked about South Node in Aries, rebelling, running away, staying in my own liberated place of isolation and separation is not the future path of evolution that we're being called towards right now. And then what's the other the other option is charge. We've got Jupiter in Leo. Jupiter in Leo squaring, okay? This Saturn over there in Scorpio. We've got Mars moving out of Sag into Capricorn, the boss, the one in charge, the CEO of the corporation. Overpower them, control them, manipulate them, exploit them, beat them at their own game. Maybe it's a kind of an overreaction that we could also have at this time. If somebody comes up with criticism, somebody comes up with, in order for us to be together, or in order for us to buy this house, or in order for us to do this or that or the other thing, go into business together, it's like, what we need to work on, or I would like you to change this, and this. I would like you to be more responsible. I would like you to hold to your commitments. I would like you to speak, about, your deeper issues and bring your emotions to the surface. So we can also be at this time, threatened by other people and retreat. And the other option is to come back and go, no, I want my way. It's got to be this way or nothing else. And just, forget you or forget the deal. Break the deal. Drop it. That's still running away. What's the other one? Manipulate, overpower, control, become over aggressive, use emotional manipulation and jealousy and all these. This is what brings up all of our insecurities now. Yeah. And it's like, I'm going to pull out all my weapons and all my guns and everything you said 10 years ago and everything, it's like, Scorpio never forgets. Yeah. Moon in Scorpio. So this is combust, the moon and Venus. Yeah. It's like the sun, the moon and Venus in front of the sun. This is like the burn up time where we can all be very emotionally, all of our emotions that have been suppressed or buried or held back or held down. It's like it can really lead to explosive argumentation, explosive forms of behavior, and we can be, it's revenge, it's ruthlessness, it is obsessive compulsive behavior patterns. I mean, it's just laying guilt trips on people, threatening people. I mean, these types of behaviors, can come up at this time for all of us. And it's all to show us ourselves. It's all to really, this is what this whole thing is about, making the unconscious conscious. If somebody's making you angry, you have choices of what to do with that anger. I see this whole kind of a thing, the thing I want to use is like fencing. It's like a time of fencing, or a time of, like I did Taekwondo, it's like martial arts. You go back and forth. And you even, in the martial arts, you take that other energy that's coming at you, and rather than confront it, you allow it, right, to go by you, but then you maybe come and bring it back in another way. So there's like this dance that can happen with Scorpio. And of course, this is what I'm leading up to. It's the middle way. It's not all my way, and I'm not always right. And I can take criticism, and I can take your observations without flipping or freaking or fearing or hiding or running. And I am also going to speak my truth. And I don't want to hurt your feelings, and I don't want to break the deal, and I don't want to scare you away. And it's like, this is, so we also, yeah, confront ourselves when it comes to engaging, disengaging, when to charge, when to, step back, when to retreat. So this is like what's going on now. This is the dance. This is the dance. And I would say the important thing is balance. The North Node is in the sign of Libra, the scales. So this whole 6-month period, particularly this month, and particularly like right now, stand your ground when it comes to your truth. And do not surrender, give way, be dominated, be controlled, yeah? Be manipulated. Somebody's offering you a whole bunch of money, but you just really don't, that's not your truth. You don't operate that way, but it's really tempting to like go for it and compromise yourself, your integrity, your truth, or whatever. Yeah? I mean, there's lots of different ways that this dragon works. And the main thing that comes to my mind is I use the Aleister Crowley Thoth Tarot deck, yeah, and one of the cards that I remember in particular is it's the 11th Arcana, and there it's the Lust card, taming the animal nature through loving acceptance. This gets us out of the right and wrong, the win and the lose, the I am on top, you're on bottom, I'm the teacher, you're the student. This gets us into this loving acceptance of diversity, of that I have this set of values and you have that set of values. Even though we have different values, we can still learn from each other, grow together, live together. I also think of the old times of Michaelmas, yeah? And Michaelmas was, Saint Michael slaying the dragon. And we can transform slaying the dragon to taming the dragon, yeah? Instead of slaying the enemy, killing the enemy, destroying the other, we can tame, we can accept. And through this acceptance and loving acceptance, we become a model, we become an example of how the other person can also come to meet us halfway, meet us in the middle. My mantra was going to talk about this. I'm willing to meet you halfway. Yeah? So this is what I see with the North Node in Libra and this solar eclipse happening in Scorpio. So the mantra for this week is, I'm all exposed now. In order to consummate, yeah, this relationship, I'm willing to engage as both student and teacher, that love may have its way. I want to just, leave you with that, it's not a time to hit and run. It's not a time to hide. The most important thing now and with Scorpio is that this is the time of confronting forces beyond our control, other people, and do make ourselves vulnerable, know when to surrender, when to give ground, and know when to stand firm, stand strong, know when to be the student, and when it's time for you to be the teacher, and not get lost too much in either role, but really expand and evolve, yeah, through both. But the main thing is engage. play the game, get up there, do the martial arts, do the fencing, you know, go after that dragon, and just, you know, don't hide out. Don't be an ostrich burying your head in the sand. Confront, face, discuss, merge, orgasm, unite, separate, do the dance of life. Yeah. Go for it, baby. So with that, oh yeah, the mantra one more time. Let's see. In order to consummate this relationship, I'm willing to engage as both student and teacher, that love may have its way. Namaste, aloha, so much love.
And actually, take 5. I would like to close today's report with a short visit to Pleeble Island, a place of Neptune and Pisces imagination birthing itself into manifestation. This is an island created by Carl, where everyone loves everyone, and they work together in beautiful harmony to create this magical land. And it is so fitting for this time period, as the Sun and Venus move together after this eclipse through Scorpio to trine Neptune, and they'll be coming up to trine Chiron next week. I'll talk more about that in the other report. But it is this possibility. Here we have some Pleebles. There's Blue Boy. Just live into this scenery of a possible future for our planet, where the creative genius of each and every one of us is fully realized.